Hello and welcome back to the Making a Millionaire podcast, my untold story, now told story. I got to get that podcast name correct. The untold, now told story of how I went from zero to $1 million with my online business. Today we're going to talk a little bit about blogging. Now, blogging, many people feel that blogging is dead. It is not dead. And I'm just going to share with you my thoughts, my experience of building a profitable blog from the ground up. That's going to be the title of this podcast episode, Building a Profitable Blog from the Ground Up. Now, one of the first ways that I actually made serious money online was with a blog, which is a bit ironic. I don't know if ironic is the right term, but it's a bit interesting because all of my blogs are essentially like dead. Last year sometime, my virtual private server, this podcast might get a little technical. I apologize. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to these things. But a server is basically just like a virtual hard drive. Every computer has a hard drive. And a server is basically a hard drive stored somewhere with other hard drives that basically communicates with the internet. That's where websites are stored. Like YouTube has a bunch of servers. It's basically just a bunch of servers that house videos. Companies like Bluehost, NameHero, they are basically warehouses full of servers and essentially hard drives. So I had a virtual private server. And the reason why I had a virtual private server is because it is better than just having like, there's different types. So you can, let's say Bluehost, for example, they're not the company that nuked my server, but let's say that we're talking about Bluehost. Bluehost has different levels. If you are like brand new to internet marketing, or you just have one or two websites, you can go to them and they kind of do everything. They store and manage your website. A virtual private server is kind of like that next step up. You get more features. You can actually access your files directly. You can manage disk space a little bit better. You're going to have access to databases. And you can have multiple websites. And that's the route that I went because I had multiple websites. I had websites in literally everything. Not everything, but a lot of stuff. And sometime last year, my VPS, virtual private server, got infected with malware. And when that happened, that absolutely destroyed every single website that was on that VPS. And so I found myself like trying to start over. And I've been trying to start over multiple times. And so finally yesterday, I just bit the bullet and I'm in the process of migrating to a different VPS program. And so like, I'm so frustrated. I just kind of want to throw my hands up and walk away from that opportunity, but I realize how big of an opportunity it is. So blogging is still very powerful. It's very important. And if you do blogging the right way, you can find success online. Okay. And so when I say the right way, most people, and I just made a YouTube video about this, but your competition will only do the bare minimum. 99% of the people that you're competing with are only going to do the bare minimum, and that's how you can be successful online. If you dedicate and determine and say to yourself, I'm going to go 2 steps above the bare minimum, you will be wildly profitable on the internet. And so what most people do is they just write a blog post. They'll do one blog post every couple days, and then they'll see that they're not getting traction, then they'll give up. What I think you should do instead is do blogging with something else. And usually that something else can be like Pinterest. So you create 5 or 10 Pinterest pins for every blog post that you put out. That's going to help accelerate how long it takes for Google to see your blog. Normally, if you're just starting off with a blog today, it can be like 6 months or more, probably more because of AI and a lot of people are just using ChatGPT to write stuff. It could be 6 months or more before you start getting traffic. Google starts testing you. But if you use something like Pinterest, or if you use something like if you use something like Pinterest, if you use something like a YouTube channel, if you find other places, you can help accelerate it. Maybe Reddit is your thing. So you pick a niche, like always, and then you start being helpful on other pieces of content on other platforms. And so most people that get into blogging and ultimately will fail with blogging, they'll just try that one thing and it won't work, or it won't work as quickly as you hope or expect, and then they quit. And the other thing you have to understand, a lot of people don't realize this, is you have to understand your platform. A lot of people will think that, hey, I'm going to start a blog and instantly get success. That's not how that platform works. It takes a long time, 6 months maybe, to start getting traffic. And so if you are prepared to start creating content for 6 months, you can be successful with a blog or more. But most people are just like, hey, I want instant traffic, but I don't want to show my face. I want to start my online business, but I want to do the bare minimum. A common theme that you'll probably hear me talk about essentially is if you do just a little bit more, you'll be wildly successful online. So let's go ahead and talk about it. My first blog was actually in security cameras. It was the securitycameraguy.com. I usually don't list the names of the blogs because I didn't want people like going to the website. And the other weird thing, the other drawback to a blog is what people would do is, and I saw this with a program called Income School that I purchased. If you say the name of your blog, people will go hunt your blog down. They'll copy word for word. They'll steal your blog post. They'll put them on their blog, and then they will change the date so it makes it look like they wrote it before Google did. For whatever reason, Google isn't that smart where it can't tell when stuff was uploaded. And so it actually penalized people. So this is probably the first time. But if you've seen my YouTube channel, The Security Camera Guy, then hopefully you're able to put two and two together. But yeah, my first blog was in The Security Camera Guy. And I wrote like 30 articles. Like I wrote every day. And that's when I found out actually that I don't like writing. I don't like writing blog posts. And I found that out because I would write these 2,000, 3,000 word blog posts and I would start to fall asleep. I'd start to nod off and I would be like fighting sleep trying to write these blog posts. And so I realized pretty quickly that blogging wasn't for me. But what I did is I wrote 30 blog posts. I blogged every day for 30 days. And then I took a step back and I focused on a second blog. That blog was in microwaves. That blog was called smallapplianceplanet.com. I don't think I still have that one. But it was called smallapplianceplanet.com. And again, I don't think I've ever mentioned that one either. But I started writing. So let me back up. I started writing on security cameras, and this is a true story. I started writing on security cameras because we had just moved into this brand new subdivision. There were some houses that still weren't built. And there were kids breaking into these unfinished houses and like stealing stuff. Also where I lived, there's a large, excuse me, there used to be this Greyhound dog track in Kenosha, and it had been abandoned for a number of years. And so what I found out people were doing, kids were doing, is they were parking on my street and then they were walking over to the Greyhound, the dog track. And, you know, I found this out because I was just awake at like 2 a.m. and I was happening to go into the bathroom or something. I walk by and I look and I see kids outside. I go downstairs and I realize I left my garage door open. The kids weren't like going into the garage or anything like that, luckily, but they were walking over to the Greyhound dog track and like drinking and doing whatever else over there. And so I was like, I want some security cameras so that I can make sure that people aren't messing around the house. So I got interested, started looking into security cameras. I bought a Ring video doorbell, and I realized that there wasn't a lot of information and content on Ring at that time and the Ring Video Doorbell series. And so I started creating content about the Ring Video Doorbell. In fact, my most viewed video I have a YouTube channel about the security cameras. My most viewed YouTube channel, YouTube video had over 150,000 views. And I always like to point to that channel as an example that you don't need a lot of subscribers in order to make money. You just need to create content based on what people want to know. That channel has less than 2,000 subscribers, but I was able to generate over 150,000 views based on a topic that people wanted to know about. So anyway, back to the blog. That's how I got started, and that's how I got into security cameras. My second blog was on microwaves. And the funniest thing about that is I actually started writing on microwaves because the buttons on our microwave stopped working. And, I was going to do research on Google, of course, and I couldn't find any relevant answers. And so, I was doing all sorts of research, and I said, you know what, why don't I put together a list of things, a list of questions, and that could be my next thing. And what's really interesting, and this is kind of how everything kind of intertwines and relates, is when I was looking up questions people were asking, people are oftentimes asking, can you put aluminum foil in a microwave? And as an adult, obviously you know that now, but when I was a little kid, I think like 9, 10 years old, and this is probably one of my favorite stories, is my favorite food is and was Pop-Tarts. And we used to buy Pop-Tarts from Aldi, which is like a discount grocery store, like a no-name brand grocery store. And Aldi, they packed all of their Pop-Tarts in like an aluminum type of foil. It wasn't aluminum foil. It was gray. It was, whatever. And so what I did one morning is I ripped open the Pop-Tart container. I think they're called like pop pastries or something like that on Aldi. I ripped it open. I popped it into the microwave, pressed like 30 seconds and walked away. And then all of a sudden, maybe like 10 seconds into it, I hear like lightning strikes and zaps in the microwave. And so I run and I pull it and the microwave is smoking. But, my parents saw and they're like, well, what the hell are you doing? I said, I was trying to microwave my Pop-Tart. And my mom said, hey, don't you know you can't put aluminum foil in the microwave? And my answer was no. At 9 years old, how would somebody know that? Anyway, but that's what led me to realize that A, you don't have to be an expert. B, there are people that are coming of age every single day that don't know what you know. I know now that you can't put aluminum foil in the microwave, but if I asked my 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 8-year-old kids, they might not know that. And so you can create content, whether it's a blog post or YouTube video, whatever it might be, about things that are common knowledge. And there's somebody out there that will say, I didn't know that. So I started writing, can you put aluminum foil in the microwave? That used to give me a bunch of views every single month. I wrote on best microwaves for college students or for dorm rooms. And again, based on my life, I was the first one to go to college in my family. And so I didn't know there were different size microwaves. I didn't know what was acceptable, what wasn't acceptable. Funny story about that. Again, I went to college having no idea about anything. My uncle gave me an old laptop. Now, I went to college in 2001, so much different. I took this old laptop. It had a modem jack, thinking I'm cool, whatever. I go into the dorm room and I'm trying to plug my modem jack into this input that looks the same. It looks like it's the exact same thing. And I can't figure out why this isn't working. I'm trying to plug it in. And finally the RA, the resident advisor said, hey, that's not going to work because you're trying to plug in a phone cord into an Ethernet port. And that's when I realized, hey, I don't know much about anything. And so that was a little embarrassing, but that's funny nonetheless. And that kind of just goes along with, if you want to be successful online, you basically just have to teach people something they don't know. That's, you just have to teach people something they don't know. And when you teach people something they don't know, you can monetize it. So my second blog was in home appliances. I wrote about microwaves. I wrote about stand mixers. My third blog was in soundbars, soundbarplanet.com. And I'd only written about 10 blog posts on that one, but that blog post was crazy because it would get affiliate commissions day and night. Now, for some reason, I was able to figure out and find niches that didn't have a lot of competition. Like the soundbar one was great. It used to bring me soundbar commissions, literally multiple commissions every single day. And it was such a cool thing because I'd only written 10 blog posts on them because soundbars are just really boring. And so, through writing blog posts, you just realize that, hey, I don't really want to blog because this is boring. Now you can hire people to do it. And that's what I actually wound up doing with my security camera guy blog is I hired a guy. He wrote 30. I think I wrote 30 more. I wound up having something like 200 blog posts on that website, which was pretty cool. That's an accomplishment. A lot of people don't get to 200, but 200 blog posts on all things home security. Like what's the difference between a BNC? What's the difference between BNC and CCTV? Can security cameras record in the cold? Can you record through a window? All sorts of stuff that I wrote on with regard to security cameras. Over time, I added a bunch of different blogs and blog posts and other niches. Unfortunately, all of those blog posts that I've written are gone. The databases were destroyed when the malware went through. But it was like, and so one interesting thing about the blog was it was really my first taste and first example that I could, in fact, make quote unquote passive income, make money while I wasn't actively working on my business. Until that point, the only way I was making money was when I was doing my freelancing thing. So before I started writing a blog, I was basically building out 5-page WordPress websites and making money that way. However, it was basically like a second job. The only way I was making money was finding clients, and I had to spend a bunch of time finding clients and making phone cold calls and follow up and stuff like that. But with the blog was really interesting because it was really my first taste of affiliate marketing. I was making money with Google AdSense, and I actually started looking into selling digital products. Digital products were like PLR. But so that is my background. That is my story when it comes to blogging. I've done a bunch of blogs. I've written a bunch of blog posts. I've realized that I am not a blogger. I've written blog posts with AI. I've written on everything from security cameras to tattoos. In fact, one of my newer ones that recently just got killed, unfortunately, was one on tattoos. I had found an expired domain on a website called like FileZilla, I think it was, and I wrote blog post on tattoo design. And what I did was I wound up putting affiliate links on the side that went over to like 500 tattoo designs for affiliate marketing. And then I was also creating tattoo designs to sell over on Etsy. That was the crazy thing with blogging is there's so many different monetization strategies. I had links going everywhere. And so, yeah, crazy. It's really interesting when you think about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about building a profitable blog. I've just spent the last 20 minutes telling you different stories about my blog, but let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing that you need to do is understand and realize that a blog is written content that is designed to be informative and persuasive. When people have a question, they go to a blog to find an answer. For example, just yesterday, what did I ask? Earlier today, I asked about the best camera lenses for a camera. Now, I have a separate camera that I'm going to start using for maybe this. And I wanted to find a camera lens. So I went over to Google and I typed in best camera lenses for Canon M50 Mark II. And it gave me a list. And so people can monetize with affiliate marketing. You can monetize by memberships. There's so many different ways. But what I encourage you to do is first figure out a niche and think about ways you're going to monetize. Now, I think one mistake a lot of people make is they think that every single blog post is a monetization post. Sometimes your blog posts have to feed into other posts. For example, maybe if you're doing like best cameras for whatever, you write the blog post about the best cameras, and then instead of linking to the affiliate product, you make another blog post about reviewing each individual camera, and then that blog post has affiliate links. So you kind of create this like flywheel effect. The fastest I've been able to rank a blog post was like 12 hours, which was really quick, but that had like no competition. It was very, very little traffic. And so I was able to rank on the first page really quick for it, which was pretty cool. So the first thing you want to do is start thinking about how you plan to monetize. Now, not every opportunity is going to be right for every blog post. But I want to encourage you to think about monetizing with affiliate marketing, maybe creating a membership program. Don't solely rely on getting paid by Google or a different platform, simply because, those change a lot. They can be seasonal. Google could decide tomorrow that they're no longer going to pay bloggers. And so you got to have another plan of attack. Affiliate marketing is real simple. Selling digital products is real simple. There's a bunch of plugins that you can use for that. You can sell merch, but I'm not a huge fan of merch because it's based on people's tastes. And so that can be a challenge. So think about monetization. Next thing you want to do is you want to pick a niche. One mistake that a lot of people make is they try and pick niches that are really competitive, and they try and write on really competitive things. Okay. For example, like affiliate marketing is really competitive. And if I were to just write on affiliate marketing for beginners, I'm not going to be able to compete. However, if I write on a subtopic of affiliate marketing, like I used to write on affiliate programs, like Target affiliate programs, Nike affiliate programs, the person that's reading that still has the same result or wants the same thing. It's just a different way to go there. And I learned from a guy named Marcus Campbell, the affiliate marketing dude. He does what's called the glossary method. He finds keywords that are within the niche, again, affiliate program, target affiliate program. And then he writes on those, which is far less competitive. So that's what I started doing. And that's how I got traffic a little bit quicker. Because a lot of people will just try and go straight at it. How to make money online, investing or credit repair or something like that. But if you can come in through the side door, through an angle, it's much less competitive, and you can rank quicker, build authority, and ultimately still get the end goal, which is to make money. So identify your niche, identify different ways that you want to monetize it. Not every monetization strategy is going to work for every blog. Next, you have to create a blog. Now, I recommend WordPress because WordPress is search engine optimized or SEO optimized for blogging. Some of the other things out there like Wix and Google Sites may not be optimized best for blogging. They might be free, but free can cost you money in the long run. So I always recommend starting off with WordPress. WordPress itself is free, but get a domain name and web hosting from a web hosting platform. I'll put one in the link just to kind of help you out. But get a domain name, get web hosting, get a WordPress theme. And when you think about it, a domain name and web hosting, a web hosting is the server space. On top of that, you're going to get a WordPress. So WordPress sits on top of it. WordPress will control how your website looks and feels. It will help you configure settings easily. Within WordPress, you have themes and you have plugins. A theme is the way your WordPress website looks. The plugins add additional features and functionality. So like if you want a timer or something on your on your WordPress website, that's a plugin. If you want it to look different, you want it like a hero image that slides across, usually that's a theme. That can be a plugin too, but anyway, you get web hosting, you get WordPress on top, and then you can start writing blog posts. Now, with a domain name, that's how people are going to refer to your website. The domain name can be literally anything. It doesn't matter. Back in the day, you want to get a domain name that was relevant to whatever niche that you were in. So like Affiliate Marketing Made Easy, if you were going to write on affiliate marketing, that doesn't matter anymore. Google scrapes or reads every single blog post and they assign it where it needs to go. So alstongodbolt.com could rank for target affiliate program. So that, that doesn't really matter. Anyway, domain name is how humans refer to your website. Make sure that it's easy to read. If you can do like words that are commonly spelled, that's great. Also do .com, don't do .org or .net or .business or biz. Do .com if you can, and also stick to traditional spelling for everything. You don't want to do biz. You don't want to do like 2019 biz for you, because that would create all sorts of confusion if someone were to try and refer to it. Anyway, create high quality content. That goes without saying. You have to write. And the best way to become a better writer is simply to write. A lot of people, and read and write. Read books. Don't read other blog posts. Read books. And that'll help you write. Another issue that I see people run into is they try and do what's called keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is where you have a keyword, maybe like how to start an online business. And then what they do is they use every variation imaginable of how to start an online business. Well, that's keyword stuffing. Google hates that. And so you want to make sure that, you want to make sure that you're not doing that. You don't want to keyword stuff, because that's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your ranking. What I tell people to do is write like you are talking to a human, write like you're talking to a friend. A lot of people will keyword stuff because they're trying to get ranked in the algorithm. Again, that's stuff that worked 10, 15 years ago, but now, it's not going to work now. Keyword stuffing is not working now. It no longer works. Let's see. So anyway, write like you're writing to a friend, write normally, write like a human, and you'll be able to, get a little bit more traffic and success. What I would recommend that you do is come up with a plan for writing. Write. Somebody will ask, how much should I write? I don't know. That's hard to say. Me not liking to write blog posts, I'm going to tell you, write however much. But if you can write every single day, write every single day. But what will probably happen is you'll get burnt out. If you can write every other day, write every other day. Write as much as you can, because you don't know which blog post is going to take off. You don't know which blog post is going to spur your success. And so write as much as you can. Don't write junk. And if you can hire somebody to write with you and for you, do that. There's a bunch of websites out there that you can use to hire people to write, like Hire Writers and all sorts of stuff. Make sure that they're good quality, because every bad blog post is going to bring your stuff down. The other thing too, I realized, and I don't know, maybe it takes a bunch of micro realizations to realize this, but no one's going to care about your content like you do. So if you hire somebody to write your blog post, they're not going to care. They're doing it for a job. They're not going to have the same passion about it and the same vision as you do. So don't be afraid to stay on top of them and keep talking to them. Keep asking for rewrites and feedback. So monetization, we've talked about affiliate marketing, paid ads, digital products, a community and membership. make sure that you have a plan in place. The worst thing that you could do is just start writing and then you don't really have a plan in place. And then then you realize you don't have a monetization strategy, because having a monetization strategy will help you find blog posts to write about, help you find keywords. Kind of like I alluded to a little bit earlier, writing on the different camera lenses for a Canon M50. Okay, that gives me probably 15 blog posts right there. So I write about the top level list, and then I can write about individual blog posts. I made the mistake early on, just kind of like trying to find low competition keywords and then shoehorning in. That doesn't really work out so well. But there are tons of ways to monetize, which is really cool. Affiliate marketing, recommending other people's products and services. A digital product can be a planner, ebook, guide, workbook, anything that people deem valuable within the niche. I'll probably say this in every video. Make sure that whatever your monetization strategy is, it's aligned with the target audience. Don't just push something down someone's throat because it makes you a bunch of money. If you are in the pickleball niche, for example, promote paddles. Don't try and promote a course on cooking. Now, that's an extreme example, but oftentimes a lot of people that I work with, they'll have a niche about gardening, for example, and then they want to monetize with a Make Money Online course because it pays them $1,000. But you got to realize that the people that are interested in gardening probably aren't also interested in making money, or else they would be asking different questions. Don't try and force that fit. Building your audience. So what you want to do when it comes to building your audience is you're going to start writing blog posts. Oh, the other thing I recommend that you do is do email marketing. Collect emails, and that will help you bring people back to your content. Building your audience. You're going to write blog posts, obviously. Also, you want to go out and get your audience. Go to Pinterest, go to Reddit, go to YouTube, go to the different places and bring them back. That's going to be the easiest and best way to make sure that you get traffic. Don't just sit around and wait and hope and pray that people are going to come to you. Go to them and bring them back. That's going to be the best way. For example, like Reddit. Let's say I'm writing on how to make money online. Go over to Reddit, see if there's a question that doesn't have a lot of answers. You can also do this with Quora too. Write a blog post to answer that question, and then write, maybe 500 words in Reddit answering the question, and then say, hey, look, if you want to learn more, I have a 3,000 word blog post that will answer that question. Here it is. Or if the subreddit doesn't allow links, just say, if you want the link, send me a direct message or a personal message, and I'll send you the link. Great way to bring people back. SEO, search engine optimization, I alluded to it a little bit earlier. It's basically just finding keywords that are related to your niche. Again, if your niche is make money online, the sub niche is affiliate marketing. A keyword for affiliate marketing might be how to make money with affiliate marketing for beginners in 2024. That's a search engine optimized keyword. Make sure that you are not keyword stuffing. If you're writing a blog post on affiliate marketing for beginners in 2024, make sure that you are not writing on every third sentence has that phrase in, because Google can look at what you're writing about and interpret. Again, think about if you're writing to a friend or talking to a friend. If you're talking to a friend about affiliate marketing, or how to make money online as a beginner in 2024, you might say that once. So like he comes up to you and says, hey, Alston, what's the best way to make money online in 2024? Well, you get to, hey, the best way to make money online in 2024 is doing this. And then you start talking about it. You don't rephrase that question every 5 or 6 sentences, because your friend knows the context of the conversation and Google knows the context of the conversation. So you can just write and talk normally. So make sure that you are not keyword stuffing. Make sure that most of your blog posts are related so that you can rank for keywords. And the other cool thing with what Google does now is you can actually wind up ranking for keywords that you didn't intend to rank for. And that's all because you're going to write normally. Google's going to scan your entire website and they're going to tell you what works and what doesn't work. And what I found, the best thing that I found was looking at your analytics to see what's working and what isn't working. I used to look at Google Search Console for what I was ranking for, and Google Analytics. I think Google Analytics might have changed a little bit, but Google Search Console used to be one of the bee's knees, because what you could do is once you write a bunch of blog posts, it'll tell you what you're ranking for. If you didn't intend to rank for that keyword, you could essentially write another blog post for that keyword, and you could increase your chances of ranking. So that was actually pretty cool. I use Google Search Console all the time. Google Analytics will tell you where your traffic is coming from, how long they're staying on page, the pages that they're going to. So definitely use the tools and resources to help you write better blog posts a little bit longer. One of the biggest challenges with writing a blog post or starting a blog is writing and knowing that it's going to take a while before it's discovered and seen. You have to have the most persistence to write blog posts, because again, it can take 6 months or more for it to be seen. And so you just got to keep writing through the dark period, the lean times. But if you want to help yourself out, make sure that you are doing the other stuff. Pinterest, Reddit, all of those different places will help you. But it is a challenge, and it's frustrating. The frustrating thing, and this kind of happens with YouTube too, is you could be ranking for something, and then somebody comes in and takes the ranking. The rankings change all the time, maybe like once or twice a month. The other problem with YouTube is that, or Google, excuse me, is that they will have these huge updates. One was called like Panda, where whatever you were doing at one point was working out really well. They do an update, and all the traffic that you had is gone overnight. Another reason why you want to make sure that you are using Pinterest and Reddit, because, you know, if you're using Pinterest, for example, or YouTube, you'll continue to have that traffic source built in. But again, that's another major challenge is every couple months, Google's going to come out with a huge update, which feels like it's going to hammer the little guy. And usually what happens is there's a huge change, and then it kind of goes back to being semi-normal. But just know that that can happen as well. If you guys have questions, so two things I'm going to do. One, I'm going to put the link to my recommended web hosting company in the description so that you can take a look. And the second thing is, if you guys have questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. This podcast went on a little long. It's only about 40 minutes, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so that's a pretty cool, my experience with starting a blog. I probably have maybe 20 blogs now that I have to rebuild from scratch, which is annoying and frustrating, but that's part of being a business. You're going to have these setbacks that you have to go back and face. You're going to have to learn, adapt, and grow. And if you don't learn, adapt, and grow, you're going to be gone. You won't have much of a business to worry about. So yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out. This is, or was the, what did I call it? It's Making a Millionaire. This is the Making a Millionaire podcast, the untold, now told story of how I went from $0 to $1 million. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening and watching. You guys have a great day.